Is happening, people? We are back at it again with another fucking video. So let's deep dive and let's uncover something about something. It's called "How Do You Gain Self Confidence in Business" by Sam Ovens.
Cool. So the next point I kind of wanted to touch on is all about confidence. And there's a lot of people that were writing in, and one particular person said, "I'm 19 years old and I have no self-confidence at all. How do I even get started developing confidence in what I can do?"
Yeah, well, the important thing to know is that you're not like born with confidence. You don't just have confidence. And when you start something new, you definitely don't have confidence in it.
When you start something new, you most definitely do not have enough self confidence to fully retail. The best thing is the viewers, the comments, and where you think this is going to go. See, now for me, I know I'm going to make it big and mainstream as long as I make it big and mainstream and keep on posting the content that I want to post and saying the things that I want to say. Which is why, of course, I'm calling it this title, Part 1. Because the more I post, the better it is for me. The better it is for me to become a more mainstream.
Like we could find a very confident person, and if I asked them to fly an airplane, like to Australia, they're not going to have much confidence.
Right.
Because when you start on something new, it takes time, it takes discipline, it takes understanding, it takes belief, it takes patterns, it takes understanding. When you become more confident, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You become confident by building a stack of undeniable proof of what you are and what you say you are. That's Alex Hormozy. And I see a lot of Alex in me. I see the confidence, I see the peer pressure, I see the understanding, I see the belief pattern, I see the thoughts that go into my thinking on a day to day basis. And I know that I'm able to do this because I know nobody else will follow, and that's why it's hard for some people and easy for me to say. You don't become confident by building the proof, you build the stacks of evidence by building the confidence before you had nothing, when you have nothing. That's why I'd rather make content like I'm going to do another content until I fall asleep. And until I fall asleep, it'll take time, which means I'm going to work until my eyes bleed and until my mouth cannot speak no more.
You know what I mean? So like, people think, oh, I'm just supposed to be confident, but it takes practice, and you need to get good at the thing.
It takes practice, takes effort, takes understanding, takes belief, takes everything out of you. And when you get to that bottom layer, when you get to that bottom perspective, when you get to that bottom thing, that is when you try harder. That is when you push the gas and keep on going, keep on pursuing, keep on persevering, keep on doing. Because when you keep on going, you keep on going. Nobody's going to stop you for not becoming confident. They're only going to stop you from when you become that better version of yourself.
Before you have confidence. Like, otherwise, no one's going to just be confident doing something they've never done.
Nobody's going to be confident of doing something you've never done, which means you have to do something that you never had, or that you never thought about, or you never believed about, or you never understood about. The only way you can become confident is by building a proof that you are and what you say you are. That is the only reason how to build proof.
So that's the first kind of mind trick that people do to themselves. You know, they might try business for a day, they don't feel very confident in it. So they're like, oh, I'm just not good at this, or I don't have the confidence. And they might say that the confidence is the thing stopping them from doing the business, but it's not. It's, you know, they need to keep doing it, and then they get it. So the key really is practice. Like, you know, it's like, let's say you wanted to be good at basketball.
The more practice you make, the more repetition, the more things you push forward, is when you become confident. You become confident by building the proof that has already been there. that is already trying to be there, that is always trying to grow, shape, understand, believe, think, act. Because if we do not act, we may never know where this life will lead us to. We may never know where this understanding will build us to.
Or football or whatever, or swimming, it takes practice. And that's like, hours in the pool or hours on the court or
Hours upon hours upon hours of doing the same thing consistently over and over and over again. I didn't become famous overnight. I would love to have that happen, but that probably will never happen. I would love to become rich and famous, but I may never know where this life will lead me to.
or the amount of like miles you've run if you're training for a marathon or whatever. Like you need to practice, and you need to practice a lot.
You need to practice repetition over and over and over again, because without the repetition, you might never know where this life will lead you to. And where this life will lead you to, you might never know where this repetition will end at, or where this understanding will bleed you to. I would rather work till my eyes bleed and my mouth still stops talking when it stops talking, because it may never happen. Last night I worked till 11 p.m. and I never expected myself to work till that late. I have yet to eat dinner. I have yet to eat any food. The only food I had today was Leon Shin, and that was at like 12. So, let's continue.
And pretty much someone's confidence is in direct proportion to practice.
Direct proportion to where you practice. Where you practice becomes what you learn becomes a habit, and a habit becomes a skill. Everything over and over and over again until you think the way you think, until you want to do the things you're afraid to do.
So why is some pilots so confident to land in really tough airports? Because there's airports around the world, like Hong Kong's one of them, where it's like really hard to land. In Queenstown in New Zealand, that's another one that's really hard because of the mountains and everything.
Oh, got it.
People like they're the pilots that have done the most hours, and they're the pilots that have flown in really tough situations.
Really tough conditions and really tough things. But that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, peace.